When I was driving, when I lived in places like Nebraska and other places and driving a lot, I listened to a ton of audio. It was a great commute time thing. And seeking out mentors and anyone I can learn from. By the way, that doesn't mean someone who is like amazing and done something really wonderful. Like the first real sales mentor I had was fantastic. And I met him through my brother. He had a private jet and a bunch of money. And I was super impressed with that at age 19 years old. But the next real sales manager, I said, what's the hardest thing about selling? And I went back to that idea that I think used cars is a hard thing because it's like this got stereotyped. So I reached out to the person who ran at the time the largest vehicle sales organization in Omaha area, Bob Woodhouse, and just said, hey, I'm a young sales manager trying to learn sales management. Would you sit down and meet with me? And sit down with a legal pad and filled out 10 pages. And from what I got from him. Since then, I found that there are clearly a lot more people there are companies and consultants and advisors you can go to for specific things you're trying to solve. That's a much more like, I have a problem, I need to solve it, much more practical. But I still do. I have a personal board of advisors, that I talk to at least once a month, each of them, and in all different aspects of my life. Finally, coming in for landing on the topic, I learn a lot from people in my organization. Like I aspire to hire people better at everything of that function than I am. So when you hire people better than you, people you probably should be reporting to, it's a very enlightening thing. As long as you get your ego out of the way, you can learn from them. And I learn all the time from people. Probably the most compressed cycle of learning for me was I lived in London. I'd moved from Omaha, Nebraska. I'd never done any business outside of the US or Canada. Sold my house, cars, everything, moved with 3 kids, to London and went and, opened up offices. And I don't know, we opened up maybe 11, 12 countries at that time or something. I only speak one language. And then ultimately ended up with a global role. And I found myself sitting in cities around the world with people who knew culture, experiences, cut everything much better than I did. And I finally learned to just shut up and listen. How do I operate here? What do I need to know? And I think you can learn as much, if you're a leader, I think you can learn as much from people, downline from you in your organization as you can from others. And then reaching out to someone outside of your context is really helpful too, because we get stuck in our own little world, in our own little vortex.